Hey guys, SomeGuyDude, aka Zach, or any of my various online handles. I was stuck in some traffic a minute ago, driving back from where I work, and I was just sort of thinking about the channel because it's October 30th when I'm recording this, and it's going to be October 30th when I post it. You know, the channel's been around for, it's a fresh channel. I only just got, a thumbnail. I only just got, an icon and banner art and stuff like that. It's a fledgling channel. We are brand new into this. And there's not a lot of subscribers, not a lot of views, all that stuff. And that's fine. That's not, I obviously want the subscriber base to grow and to get some notice, but I'm perfectly content with that. But I had a friend of mine ask me the question of why. Why am I bothering? And that's a totally fair question. It really is. You got to think. It is the final quarter of 2014. Let's plays are everywhere. There's no more oversaturated market right now than Let's Play channels. There's probably millions of them. There's probably more Let's Play channels than there are Let's Play subscribers at this point. I'm 29 years old, which by internet standards practically makes me a senior citizen. So why am I bothering with this? And I guess to answer that, you got to go back to, my roots. My first gaming system was an Atari 2600. I got it in 1988 from my cousin because he got a Nintendo. And so I was gaming from the time I was very little. And what you got to realize, if you're younger, you may not realize really what gaming was for people like me growing up. Gaming was not communal. There's no World Series of gaming. There weren't sitcoms about affable nerds. There weren't, it wasn't cool to be a gamer at all. And yeah, you might, there's still that stereotype of gamers being nerds and stuff like that. But gaming as a thing has entered it's fashionable now. Look at the Comic-Con, look at E3, look at PAX. PAX exists. The biggest webcomics are gaming webcomics. The biggest YouTube channel, the YouTuber who has smashed every record is a Let's Player. There are documentaries about games and gamers. The World Series of Gaming is huge. It's just enormous now. But when I was a kid, when I was young, and I was playing I was on my NES, trying to crack through, Wily Castle Stage 4 on Mega Man 2 with the crash bombs. When I was fighting with Frogger, when I'm playing Shining Force 2 for a couple of months, my parents actually got me the Sega channel. Look that up, by the way. You want to know how you know someone who was actually a gamer in the early '90s, in the early mid '90s, versus someone who just sort of found the stuff later? Ask them if they know what the Sega channel is. And when that was me, when that was my generation, my age group, gaming was very solitary. It was just you by yourself. There was no online gaming. If you were playing a game with a friend, they had to be in the room with you. You couldn't watch someone else play a game. There was nowhere to go for games that had that massive community feel. If you had a lot of games, getting a lot of games was, there were a couple of game stores. See, now we sort of scoff at places like GameStop because of the price gouging and shit like that. When I was a kid, if you could find a place like GameStop, it was The ones that I knew were like Babbage's Electronics Boutique, things like that. And it was amazing having them. You know, if you had told me when I was in high school that 10 plus years down the road, that, you know, 10, 15 years down the road, there would be an entire market. People would be making millions. Not millions, but you know what I mean. People would be making a lot of money by playing video games and having an audience for that. I would have said there's no way, because gaming isn't cool like that. Gaming isn't fashionable, popular, and things like that. Gamers, and I don't mean this to sound like a stodgy old man, like, well, back in my day, no, it wasn't. That sucked. Like, that was terrible. You know, if you were the kids that talked about playing video games were the ones like in the lunchroom, kind of off to the side, talking about it. You know, talking about games. You know, like, and if you were a PC gamer, oh my God, you were the ultra nerd. Who the hell? You know, because you had to like sift through DOS menus and everything like that. I remember trying to get Wolfenstein to work on one of my first computers. You know, my like cousin had their old Packard Bell, and I could play like Chip's Challenge on it. And so now that I'm older, and we've entered this era of gaming where it's communal based, and it's magic. This is magic where we are. All right. I recorded a video recently of Speedrunner and Magicka. I'm in the United States. My one friend's in Canada, and the other one is in England, and we recorded this together. It's global. And the idea of being able to take something that I always loved doing as a kid, totally by myself, just shut in my room, burning out my retinas on my 12-inch Sanyo television, playing Mortal Kombat 2 on a Genesis. And now it can be something that can be huge, and everybody is, you know, you can send it to people across the planet and record and learn and share, and you can find games that I can find a game that some guy made in his basement, you know, in his bedroom, in his spare time while he's in high school, and I can find it, play it, record it, and people all over the place can see it, and we can talk about it, and it can be shared, and just, it's amazing. It's amazing what is possible now. And I wish that I wish that I had run into this when I was older, when I was younger, I mean. Like, if part of me wishes I'd been born 10 years later so I could experience this all as a younger person and be really like sort of in that just in that generation the whole time. You know, or maybe that would leave me without as much of an appreciation for it. You know, so doing this isn't about, you know, mugging for the camera, although obviously I'm going to be doing that because I've always, you know, I did theater in high school. I did regional theater. I've always been a performer. So yeah, I do love doing that. But I also really love, I love the sort of environment of the Let's Play. I think it's wonderful. It's and to enter it and be a part of it, even if it's just that little teeny bit, even if it's so minor that I'm never more than an eyedropper in the ocean of Let's Players. I mean, if you guys watch Zero Punctuation, and it amazes me to this day that Zero Punctuation's been around for over 7 years, because I remember finding his first review for The Darkness. A friend of mine who knows the internet sent it to me. And I'm sorry this is kind of a long vlog, but I've just got a lot on my mind here. And then my friend that sent it to me, you know, and I was like amazed by it. And he said something later when The Escapist picked him up. He said, trying to get noticed on YouTube, on the internet, is like throwing a message in a bottle into an ocean made entirely of messages in bottles. It's very true. But that's okay. That's fine. If anything, that's testament to just how much all of this has grown. And if I can just be a little bit of it, I think that's awesome. And if anybody comes along for the ride with me, literally anybody, then that's awesome. Every one person that checks out a video I made, I think that's great. You know, you're joining me for this. You know, and I hope, you know, and I hope to still be doing it a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. And I don't know where I'll be then, you know, but I know where I am now. And I'm really excited, and I'm really excited. So, why? Because I want to know. Because I want to. I want to be a part of this. I want to make something that's a part of this. You know, that's why I put a lot of effort. I put a lot of effort into every video. You know, I have a job that affords me a little extra money, so I made sure. So you know, I get a good camera. I try and edit them down. I try and make sure that everything looks right, because I want to look back on it after the videos are posted. I want to look back on them and say, yes, I did that. I'm proud of that. That's well made. That is something I can look at as a person and say, I'm happy that I made that. You know, and hopefully some people will come along with me. You know, and maybe in who knows how long I'll look back at this video, and maybe I'll look back on it and go, I had such an ambition then, well, and then close the channel. Or maybe the opposite will be true, and I'll look back on it and go, man, back then I had no idea what this was going to be. But either way is fine. Either way is fine, whether the channel succeeds or fails. I've been enjoying doing it. You know, and I hope, you know, and I hope anybody who has stumbled across it has enjoyed it as well. So, alright, this has been 12 minutes of me babbling for no good reason, so, alright. I might make this a weekly thing, I might make this a not weekly thing, or just anytime. I might reserve it for whenever I have something I kind of want to get off my chest on some level, so. Alright. SGD, out.